What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another post-game recap. Lakers dropped this one to the Dallas Mavericks 108 to 104. Very good game, though, man. We took a lot of great stuff out of it. It is just scrimmage, so it doesn't count. However, we got a lot of good stuff out of this, man. The rookie, Thornton Tucker, play, and boy, did he look good. I want to talk about him. I'll talk about how great Dion Waiters looked, especially in the first half. The minute disparity from Frank Vogel. He gave a lot more minutes to Dion Waiters, which is interesting. You would think JR would get the bulk of the minutes, but JR looked sensational. I love the way both of those guys played. One as a scorer in Dion Waiters, and the other one as a playmaker, defender, and scorer in J.R. Smith. So I love what this team is capable of. And we didn't play Alex Caruso. He was out with back spasms. And KCP went out early. And LeBron and Anthony Davis, just like I predicted in pregame, only played 2 quarters. So it's all gravy, baby. But you got to love it, guys. We saw a lot of encouraging stuff. And stop it with the Trey Kuzma, man. You're hilarious. We're not even going to start with a scrimmage. But I think, look, the Lakers have a lot of room for improvement. That's the scary part. We still, in 10-minute quarters, we still scored 104 points. That's highly impressive, man. However, we had to tighten up the defense because the perimeter, they were lighting us up in the first quarter. But again, we're rusty. That was to be expected. However, what I didn't expect was the production from the young players, especially Talon Horton Tucker. Man, he looked good, especially defensively, and his handles looked pretty decent. He did lose control a little bit, but the new player jitters he had from going out there, he just knocked off the cobwebs. I really like the way he attacks the rim. He's very aggressive, very heady. His defense is good, man. His wingspan is insane. That kid has tons of potential, and you have to love the way that that was probably my favorite thing, that he got some playing time just like we predicted. So you got to love it, man. A lot of good stuff. LeBron James, Anthony Davis and LeBron James look sharp as a knife. They didn't lose a beat, guys. They're ready. They're in MVP form still, primed and ready. Dwight Howard looked decent. He was catching lobs and all that. He did lose the ball a couple of times, but it's okay. Again, we have to knock off the cobwebs. That's what the Lakers have to do, and that's what scrimmage is for. Kuzma looked antsy, but I did like a lot of things he did. He was cutting well, moving well without the basketball. He struggled on defense, obviously, with Luka, to be expected. But, he was moving his feet extremely well on the offensive end, cutting back door and doing little things like that, man, just being aggressive. Now, he did rush a couple of shots off and missed a couple, thus the Kuzma slander. But come on, scrimmage first game back, we got to cut him at least that kind of slack. But bottom line is, I like how the whole team looks, man. Everybody from A to Z, I was impressed. We do have, like I said, room for improvement. Our defensive rotation, especially in the first quarter, was way off. I mean, they shot 36% from the field from beyond the arc, which is too high, and 54 from inside. You could thank Boban for that. He kind of went off. The Lakers only shot 6 out of 22 from beyond the arc, so we have to improve that, be a little more consistent. But again, you can't take off away too much from first game back. I thought we looked better than I expected, especially for being away from the game so long. I'm going to head over to the comment section in a little bit, but somebody asked me on Twitter during the game if Kostas Antetokounmpo was actually an NBA player, or basically asking if he's just a gimmick because we're trying to get his brother, or he's a real NBA player because he's been around the league now. He's been on 3 different teams. He really, my answer to him is he really hasn't gotten an opportunity to shine like that because he's been raw, and teams expect development quick. If you don't develop quick, you're going to end up in the G League for years sometimes. So my thing is, he's one of those project players that has a lot of upside, but he's still very raw. And the question is very valid because, yes, he has been in the league for a couple years now, but he hasn't got the opportunity. So if he ever does get the opportunity consistently, then we will see. We will see, we will be able to answer that question. But I like his upside for sure. He said, I miss Rondo, man. Yeah, his playmaking and the fact that he was about to turn it up, during the playoffs is what's disappointing because everybody who watches basketball knows about playoff Rondo, but he's only out for 6 to 8 weeks, so we might get him like late in the second round, early third, around there. He said THT is a great defender. Quinn Cook improved. THT, good defender. Yes, Quinn Cook. I forgot to credit him. I told you guys in pregame, I expect big things out of that kid, especially when he gets an opportunity. I saw him play at Duke, and I saw him play earlier in his career. With teams like Golden State, and he could definitely put the ball in the bucket. But the only thing he needs to improve on is defense and all that. KCP, I thought, was a bit slow tonight. and the defensive rotations. We all were. The whole team was, but especially KCP. So hopefully, he's able to get back to the level he was playing before we went into this big long break. He said Green looks good too. Yes, and I've been telling people he's going to earn his paycheck come playoff time. He's a proven player. I never worry about players like Green during the regular season because I know that veterans figure it out in the postseason, especially champion veterans. He said, Dan, what happened to Markieff Morris? Well, like I told you guys, if you didn't see my pregame, I did mention how I didn't think he was going to play because he barely was able to clear, he was clear from coronavirus on Tuesday. So he hasn't practiced with the team. And we all know Frank Vogel likes to give the players that have been with the team longest minutes, which explains tonight's rotation, why Quinn Cook got more minutes than guys like Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith, right? Because obviously he's been with the team longer. So Frank Vogel rewards experience and defense and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's the reason Markieff didn't play. He hasn't practiced with the team. I expect him to play probably as soon as Saturday. We'll see. Saturday morning, by the way, it's so early in the morning, and I work during the night on Friday night that I'm not sure if I'll be able to do pregame, but I'm definitely doing postgame regardless. I just have to set my alarm on time to wake up and, drink some early morning coffee or something to keep me up and be able to do the postgame and watch the game and all that. But I will be here for postgame for sure. Now, I might just surprise you guys and come on for pregame, but I do suspect a lot of you will be sleeping for a scrimmage game. Not me, though, man. Purple and gold, blood in my veins. He said, yeah, Green was a big surprise, grateful he cooking. I'm not surprised. I've been telling you guys, Green is no chump. I know he hasn't had the regular season that his paycheck says he should be having, but he is an experienced veteran that I do not doubt. For years, he's shown up time and time again in the playoffs. Hit some big shots, play some good defense. I expect nothing less. He said, what time is the Saturday game? 9 a.m. Thank you, Andrew. 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is my time, Cali time. He said, LeBron and AD need to play a lot during the playoffs. No, you know what? Very, very positive, encouraging signs. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be the starting lineup moving forward. I doubt it. I still believe Caruso starts when healthy over KCP for his playmaking and chemistry as with LeBron and the rest of the team. But if he does come off the bench, that's going to be a spark off the bench as far as scoring goes when LeBron and AD go to the bench. Now, you saw what Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith could do. If they come off the bench, that's another spark. Kuzma will get it going. That's another spark. And then, obviously, we have the spark plug that is Dwight Howard. And I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, like always, Markieff. So we have plenty of firepower off the bench, and we're going to be able to preserve LeBron and AD more. Again, we played guys that are not going to be normally in the rotation, guys like K-Cock and I think Talon Horton-Tucker and Kostas Antetokounmpo, which is obviously part of the reason why we lost because we don't have that cohesion as a team, right? But I love the fact that Frank Vogel is not chancing anything and he's trying everybody out. This the type of coach I like, man. He's very predictable as far as we think alike. I think just like him. I told you guys that he would give Talon Horton-Tucker some minutes here and there, and he did tonight. I told you I don't expect him to do it during regular season and playoffs unless foul trouble or injuries call for it. But so far, coach has been very predictable, which is a good thing for coaching because when you get a sporadic coach like Luke Walton that you never know who the heck he's going to play, he's going to end up playing himself coming off the bench. You just never know who's going to throw in there and just throws off every rhythm of the players and the expectations and all that. So you got to love the fact that Frank Vogel has lived up to what we expect out of a head coach, and he continues to improve. I do like the fact that he's playing everybody. What's up, Philly? He said, hey, Dan, do you expect to make up for Bradley's production? Now, I did tell you guys, our defense, you know what, Brittany, great question. Our defense is going to struggle a bit, especially with Avery Bradley missing. He was our best, in my opinion, perimeter defender. But we have plenty of firepower, and I like how JR looked in the perimeter tonight. He looked really good. He was low to the ground, hips wide. He was, moving his feet. So he looks good, especially for his age. Very rejuvenated. It looks like these 600 days off really got him going. Dion looked awesome. Dion, scoring-wise and defensively, too, he looks good. But again, I wasn't surprised. If you guys remember, I did tell you guys this is how these guys play. So I didn't expect anything less. And I was excited when we added Dion and JR. JR was a little more down on, but I was also optimistic about him. I said he could be the next Dwight Howard story. And so far, so good. But it's early, and we got to see these guys continue to prove themselves. Frank Vogel needs to continue to try to tinker with the lineups, different combinations. Maybe this game he put Dion Waiters out there for the majority of the minutes, and next game he'll try J.R. Smith. Maybe he's going to decide which one's more he's going to end up giving the bulk of the minutes to, or maybe he's just going to split it just like he did. But A lot of question marks still, a lot of curiosity, but we did get some answers tonight. Yes, the rookie talent Horton Tucker has mad potential. I love how fearless he looked out there. Sure, sometimes he rushed a shot. Sometimes he lost his footing when dribbling. But what's important with him is that he doesn't look scared, especially this late into the season. He looks poised and determined. And he looks like he's going to be an effective player for years to come once he wets his feet a little bit more in the NBA. But I do like it. He said, Dion going to take 6th man of the year. It's a little too late for that, man. The awards are already going to go out. I heard whatever happens from this point of the season, they're not counting anymore. So Jameson, man. Oh, my goodness. Santa Claus Jameson coming through with another donation. Thank you, bro. He said the first half with the starters looked really good. Yeah, man. And again, we're going to have some sloppiness from quarter to quarter because obviously we're knocking off rust and we're playing different rotations with new players implemented into the lineup. But all in all, I thought we looked great for especially incorporating all these new pieces and having all these young players out there and not having the full team as far as, Caruso not being there and stuff like that. So I thought we looked great. We could have easily won this game. But again, the Lakers right now are just focused on finding key rotation pieces that they're going to be able to count on in the playoffs. And I think that's going to be the mission moving forward, guys, not just for the rest of these scrimmage games, but the rest of the regular season games. Remember, to secure the number 1 seed, we only need to win 3 games. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, LeBron James and AD play the first 3 games and we win them all. I wouldn't be shocked if they rest like the next 3, and then play like the last 2 or something like that. So pretty much, that's all that matters. Hey, what up, Lakers squad? She said, who won? Dallas by default, but we didn't play our starters in the second half, and we played a lot of the raw young talent, which is perfect. I'll take an L in exchange for experience, especially in scrimmage when it doesn't count. He says, sup, Dan? I missed you and the Lakers family. It's been forever, but finally we're back. Thank you, man. I miss you too, bro. Thank you for coming back, subscribing, liking, all that good stuff. He said, J.R. Smith should be on Luka. Again, we don't want to put our best players on Luka Doncic or any superstar during the scrimmages because you risk injury, right? The more they have to exert themselves, the more you risk an injury, some sort of a bad fall or something. So the main goal out of these scrimmages, I don't care if we go 0-3. Of course, I care. I'm a winner, right? So I want us to win at least 1 or 2. But what mostly matters during the scrimmages, and keep an open mind here, Laker Nation, what mostly matters is that we, A, get out healthy, meaning everybody on the roster, no injuries heading into the season, which starts on next Thursday versus the Flippers. And B, we have to find key rotation pieces that we're going to be able to count on, whether it be Dion, JR, Quinn Cook, Jared Dudley, maybe even some young pieces. Maybe K-Cock can make a dent here or there. Gotta love his energy. It's a little sloppy, but you love his energy, man. You love to see it. He said, really need Caruso out there. I have no doubt we not only win this game, but we probably blow them out by 10 if Caruso's out there. That's how much of an impact he makes, especially off the bench, with his playmaking abilities. I feel like he puts everybody in their right positions. He's like, obviously I don't want to compare him to LeBron, but he's like a poor version of that off the bench. Would be great, because what LeBron does, if you notice, anytime he's out on the floor, he puts everybody in their natural position. And so when AD gets the ball down on the block, it's 1-on-1. And AD's getting more open shots than he's ever got in his career. That's why you see him eating so easily, fluid. That's why he's been able to stay healthy for the majority part of the season, because LeBron James demands and commands so much attention, and he has such high IQ that he just puts everybody in the right positions for him to either catch and shoot, catch and drive, read and react or whatever. But he puts them in the right spots. And Caruso in a lesser version of that, but Alex Caruso does a great job of doing that as well. Whether he starts or comes off the bench, he's a playmaker. He plays great, solid defense. He can actually get hot and score. And he does the little things that help your team win. So that's why we did miss him today. But again, just a scrimmage, and I'm so happy we got to see Horton Tucker play, K-Cock, Costas, guys like that. Because who knows? They might not get another opportunity. We don't know. Coach has been, like I said, very predictable. And if history serves me right, then I would say that he's only going to play these guys probably the first 2 or 3 scrimmage games, and then he's probably going to not play them unless the situation calls for it, like I mentioned. But unless they prove themselves and continue to improve on both ends of the floor, then maybe they can prove me wrong. But I'm really hoping that these guys continue to develop. How huge would it be, hypothetically speaking? Let's say, all our guards get into foul trouble game 1 of the playoffs versus, let's say, Pelicans. And, KCP's in foul trouble, JR's in foul trouble, Dion Waiters is in foul trouble. You never know. The referees sometimes be on that BS with all the flopping and stuff, even though I hope that playoff basketball continues to prove itself and where they let a lot of ticky-tack stuff go. But bottom line is, imagine a scenario where we need Talon Horton-Tucker, and he comes off the bench and puts in a nice little 6-7 points in, and he makes an impact. That would not only be huge for him and his career, but his confidence, but for the team trust in a young player like that could really go a long ways. So that would be like a dream scenario. Obviously, you're not going to expect no 20, 25 points from a young rookie. Could happen, but the odds of that in the playoffs are slim to none. So any sort of an impact where he comes in and those 7 points made the difference and we won by like 3 or 4 points, he can earn the trust of teammates, coaching staff, and most importantly, he can gain confidence. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for experience to young players like Kuz, Talon Horton-Tucker, Costas, whoever can get this experience is huge for their career, especially if we're going to keep them moving forward, right? So I look at the little things, the little details, guys, and I notice that even Kuz is the type of player that when he sees the ball go in the bucket one time, that's all it takes for him to get the lid off. I'm talking about like a jump shot or something, and he can get hot, make like 3, 4, 5 in a row, and then just have a good game. Or he could be rushing stuff like tonight, and then he feels like there's a lid on the basket, and then he's all in his head. But a young player like that, having a good game during the playoffs could be immense for his confidence and just do wonders for a player's career. I've seen players just have breakout, games in the playoffs, and then boom, the lid is off their career, and all of a sudden they're all-stars, great role players, stuff like that, right? So that's what I'm looking forward to the most come playoff time. And hopefully we can build upon that starting from scrimmages and then regular season leading up to the playoffs. But how did you guys see the game today? Are you guys still as excited? You guys worry about a silly little scrimmage loss? Nobody cares. How you guys feeling, man? I'm heading over to the comments section, see what's up with you guys. I know I'm super happy. I saw a little bit of everything that I wanted to see. Some nice lob, high screen and roll action, some solid defensive possessions here and there. A little bit of everything. So he said, trying to win a chip 8-game season, then the playoffs. He said, Lakers should destroy the Mavs. No, the Mavs are actually a very solid team. It's not an accident that they're like in the 7th seed right now as far as the West goes. They're a solid team. Destroy is the NBA, man. You don't destroy a lot of teams. Like even some of the whacker teams have a chance any given night. But what we should do is just eliminate some of those bad habits, like overhelping and then allowing guys like Seth Curry to shoot wide open threes. Little stuff like that. There you go, Sidewalk University. Appreciate you, bro. He said, I really enjoyed the game. There you go. Some positive. Man, Jameson, man, bro, you spending your whole stimulus check on me, but I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. He said, did like what the young Lakers showed for the future. Absolutely. And you also have to like what AD and Bron did, man. They haven't lost a step, especially, those two, and they look phenomenal. I mean, we were up, 14 or 13, 11 by the half? So obviously it's a different ball game if it was a regular season and they finish it out. He said, what's up, D-Man? It was great to see all the levels of togetherness in our Lakers. Stay safe, my brother, and let's go Laker Nation. Love it, Albert. Togetherness. Haven't heard that word in a while. Yes. Again, there's been multiple reports of the Lakers just having fun and just being so positive. And, it transferred over to the fan base because this is the happiest I've been as a fan in a very long time. You guys remember my earlier videos, man. I'm a very positive person, but I had my rants in the days when Jim Buss was leading, and I was like, yo, if he's still at the helm, we're going to become the New York Knicks. We need to get rid of him. I used to rant, guys. Those were the painful days, but I still loved my Lakers. I was still passionate about them, and I still believed in them. Nowadays, it's so easy just to be happy, man, to overlook the little games that we lose and stuff like that because you're looking at the bigger picture, and it's like it's like a puzzle. You're starting to see the puzzle come together, and you're starting to see the championship. You're starting to see us lift the trophy. AD and LeBron hugging it out, lifting the trophy. The role players celebrating, popping champagne. However, we're going to celebrate this year. You can start seeing little glimpses of it. So very excited. He said, I just want them to get the rust off and come out the scrimmages healthy. There you go. You, my friend, are looking at the big picture. Congratulations on being smart. He said, Kuz's defense has improved. I see him switching and playing the passing lanes. He's just not quick on his feet to guard Luka type players. Actually, I do think he's quick on his feet to guard Luka type players. I think he's very versatile. Obviously, everybody looked a little out of shape. Even JR, did you guys see that last 3 when he brought us within 2? He looked like he just was huffing and puffing, and he just decided to pull up last minute. But guys are out of shape. We're still not in that game shape yet. And then, come on, to be fair, Luka Doncic flops like a fish, man. He gets away with a lot, so it's hard to guard players like that. But Kuzma, he was giving me like mini Dennis Rodman vibes before this whole hiatus. So let's just hope he returns back to that, and I think he will. And offensively, I never worry about him because he's a very confident player who continues to stay aggressive. As long as he does that, that's all we need from Kuz. Defense and aggression and playmaking. He did some good job, cutting down the lane, playmaking, lobbing it up to Dwight, JaVale. Kuz is very underrated, man. I truly don't understand the slander. I don't know if it's the hair they didn't like from him or the fact that he's dating models or what, but the slander is unwarranted 90% of the time. I'll give you the 10% that he makes a bonehead play here or there, but it really hasn't costed us a game or nothing. So the hate is like ludicrous, and I don't mean the rapper. He said, Lakers going to be tough. Jay Swish played good from the first eye test. Dion Waiters is a bull. Talon Tucker can create under the rim. Dwight and JaVale still playing great. Defense, Bron, and AD great. Yeah, good little breakdown. That's basically everything I just said. 100% agree. He said, Luka Doncic is Harden 2.0. Yeah, very similar for sure. He's very similar. Also reminds me a bit of Nash with his craftiness and playmaking abilities. Obviously, Nash had like a sexier passing game, but all in all, like, he's a very talented young player. I just can't stand the flopping, man. I really wish the NBA, if there was one rule they could change, it's the floppery. Like, don't reward players for jumping into players and then falling on the ground or taking charges when they're about to get posterized and stuff like that. Like, if we could just remove that and toughen up the NBA just a little bit more, then that would be great. Make these offensive players and defensive players earn it. Don't give them nothing free. There will be a parade, no doubt. Fans will create their self, LOL, and just go out on the streets. I'm sure, man. I'm sorry. I've been very precautious, but it's been 10 years since we won a championship. So when we win a championship this year, probably going to go out there shirtless, maybe two-face mask, but I'm going to be out there shirtless, just waving my towel around, probably all kinds of Laker paint on me. Y'all might not even recognize me. I'm serious. That's how hyped I'm going to be. I'm going to be crazy hyped. Is it DTLF? Yes, I do remember your rant videos back in the day when Jimmy Buss was in charge. There you go, man. You're OG, bro. And again, appreciate you for all the donations. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, you're OG. You've been around. You remember. Those were the struggles. Now, it's so easy just to overlook the little things. Oh, we lost a scrimmage game. So it don't mean nothing, It's like us wise fans, we understand the game as a whole, not just, we don't panic at the little things because it's a long game. The end game is long. It's not like you're not going to lose the championship in one scrimmage game or in one even playoff game. I know there's some fans that are very antsy out there. They get nervous. I know if we lose a game we shouldn't have lost in the playoffs, they're going to say we're doomed. But that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to calm the masses down and just bring them back down to reality. I know they're in the moment, but just bring them back down to, woosah. Just relax, man. One game at a time. We got this, baby. 7-game series. It's the long game. Let's do it for Kobe and Gigi. Love it, bro. Absolutely. This is that year. We have more than enough motivation, man, and I'm sure they're gonna be happy watching from above as we make them proud, man. Every game. Dan, who will be the backup guard when LeBron rests? The Lakers will struggle when Bron goes to the bench. Nah, man, I think the Lakers actually are finding good backup guard pieces like JR and Dion that can continue to flow through the offense because they're going to get a lot more shots when LeBron and AD are on the bench. So I think if anything today showed us is that we have a lot of firepower, a lot, especially coming off the bench. People were clamoring for a guy like Jamal Crawford. I think we did one better by getting JR, who actually plays defense. They were clamoring for another shot creator, somebody who's not afraid to take the big shots. That's what Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith do. And not just that, but their defense is very underrated. You see them. They're locked in. So that's the kind of impact LeBron and AD have on players, that they're going to play their hardest and they're going to show their potential for you and the team because you lead by example. He said Jim Buss single-handedly destroyed the Lakers culture. He tried, man. He tried, but the Lakers culture never gets destroyed. But he definitely tried. I don't know what he was doing out there, man. He was ridiculous. Bad move after bad move after bad move. I mean, seriously, who hires Mike D'Antoni over Phil Jackson? That tells you everything you need to know about somebody's basketball IQ. Like, you're going to pass on an 11-time champion for Mike No D D'Antoni? Come on, bro. Come on. 6 rings. I don't know what you're talking about. He said Kuz is living the life of a LA beach dude, blonde hair, women, tattoos, etc. Let him be himself. He's young. Yeah, man, I got nothing but love for Kuz. I don't understand the slander. It gets ridiculous, but look, man, I tried talking him out of it. Just you know what they say, right? Misery loves company, and I'm definitely not going to accompany those miserable people, man. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to live my best life and enjoy my team. I love my whole Lakers squad from head to toe, man. There's not one player I hate, not one. And you know, in general, there's not a player I hate. Anytime they join the Lakers, you never hate a Laker, but there's always a player that kind of like, you know, he kind of brings the Lakers down in the past years, in our rebuilding years, right? A Nick Young type, or you know, some idiot, you know, somebody that comes in here and is just all for himself. Well, Lakers don't have that, man. Everybody's selfless. Everybody's bought in. We have nothing to complain about. Best team in the NBA, in my opinion, and you know, we're only getting better. So he said, Kuz, okay, but he needs to continue to develop, which is perfectly understandable. He said, our backcourt defense struggled without Bradley, but it's only game one. Remember that. And not just that, but let's be honest, man. Luka Doncic cooks everybody in the league. That's why he's become not just an all-star, but a superstar early in his career. That's why he's averaging close to 30 points per game and multiple assists and rebounds. Because the kid's not a joke. He's very talented. I don't like his play style, but I do not take credit where credit is due. Luka Doncic is that guy. You know, he's going to be a problem in the West for years to come, just like, you know, any other player, any other superstar. But Bradley, yes, he will be missed. We have more than enough players to step up for in his absence and fill that role. Now, it might not be one player, but it might be a combination of players, right? We might have to throw both JR and Dion on somebody who's going off, where before you just had the luxury of just putting Avery Bradley and living with the consequences. Now you got to mix it up, maybe KCP in there. Depends who's having the best, luck with containing that superstar or all-star or whoever is going off. So, but it's too early to worry about that. Look, we're going to rotate. We're going to communicate better. Their defense wasn't looking that great either. You know, they got lucky. They got bailed out with a couple of foul calls. And honestly, that was the difference in the game. Some of these calls where Dwight Howard was just like that. But again, it's still not playoffs, so it's to be expected. Regular season, the refs are in regular season form. So hopefully, as soon as we get to the playoffs, they swallow the whistle and learn how to, ref real basketball, right? That's what we want to see. We don't want to see a free throw shooting contest either way, Lakers way or the other way. We want to see real championship, high intensity basketball, loose ball diving. Everybody getting out for it. So he said, I miss basketball so much. When Kobe passed, I didn't watch much after. Since COVID, I'm starting for it now. He said, let's do this. I feel you, Alvin, and I don't blame you one bit, man. It was very hard to watch, without Kobe being alive, because when you think of the Lakers, you think of Kobe. Kobe is the Lakers, just like Magic is the Lakers, just like Shaq is the Lakers, Kareem is the Lakers. Now LeBron is the Lakers, AD. When you think of the Lakers, you think of Kobe. So every time we watch the game, we remember the greatness. But I am so glad sports are back as well, guys. Continue to smash the like button. That's going to wrap it up for my post game. I might have to run some errands, so I'm going to cut it off a little bit early. But I will see you guys here in the morning, 9 a.m. tip-off time Saturday for the next game. I do not know if I'll do pre-game because it's really early, and quite frankly, I don't know if you guys are going to be up. But regardless, I'll see what's up. Definitely here for post-game. Catch me live, guys. Again, don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Much love. We're back officially. Let's get it.